Every year since Keo was born, we've made his Halloween costume. And I've pulled out the sewing machine. This year, Keo is all kinds of into trains, and we're into Harry Potter, so after a bit of thinking and designing, we decided to make him a Hogwarts Express costume. This is a look into my process of making something every single day.
It's a grapefruit.
Anytime I build something, whether it's digital or physical, I start with designing it through drawings. It's how I think, and it's an incredibly fast way to work and iterate on ideas. The most important thing is that whatever your idea is and whatever you're building, you don't just jump to building the final version. That's a recipe for disappointment.
This isn't really to scale, but
Once I figure out what I'm doing design-wise, I have to make prototypes.
I think this design is good.
Both small-scale and full-scale prototypes, because there's some things that can only be figured out through the process of building it. And that's why it's important not to go and try to build the final piece from the beginning.
How does it fit?
This is my first time working with EVA Foam, and thanks to a heat gun and all the cosplay tutorials on YouTube, I figured out how to best mold and glue it to cardboard.
How big is Keo's body? Let's see, 10. Keo is about 8 inches.
Like I said, this is my first time working with EVA Foam, so not only did I have to test the structure through prototyping, but I had to take the time to test the paint and see how the paint would stick to the foam and what kind of primer I needed to use.
Ooh, that takes paint.
And for the primer, I ended up using Plasti-dip. Remember I said I always bring the sewing machine out for these costumes? Well, the train doesn't need the sewing machine, but Laura's brilliant idea for her costume does. Since Keo is the Hogwarts Express, Laura is platform 9 3/4. After the dress was done, all the prototypes are finished, and I knew what I was going to do to complete the final build. All I had left to do was build it.
Now that this is dry enough, oh, I forgot the wheels. Ooh, that metallic looks good.
Some of the details were a bit too detailed to do by hand. So for the Hogwarts Express sign, I jumped into Blender, modeled a quick version of the sign, 3D printed it, and that turned out fantastic. No matter how much time I have for a project, I'm always working until the last minute, and typical fashion, Halloween Eve, attaching the final details of this costume. Got a few things left to do. Got the emblems, and got the wheels. And that's it, and then this thing's ready for Halloween. And that's so like me. No matter how much time I have for any given project, I'll always be working until the last minute. Keo loves it, we love it, and it was an extremely fun process to go through. It is a bit heavy, so he can't wear it for too long, but on or off, it's fantastic.
Platform 9 3/4 by Hogwarts Express.
I had a lot of fun figuring out this costume and putting it together, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button.
Okay.
And I hope the next time you go and build something, maybe a Halloween costume, that you take the time to think about it and iterate on the design instead of going straight for the final version. And I hope that you end up with something meaningful like we did with this Hogwarts Express and platform 9 3/4.
Wait, we take one of me and Keo?
Oh, too late.